All right, so now we have 1.7, solving equations, and it's an introduction. So the first definition we're going to look at is an equation. Now, equation is a math sentence that has an equal sign. So, for example, x plus 15 equals 12. That would be a equation because it's got the equal sign. Same thing with 7 minus 2 equals 5. It's still an equation. All right. An open sentence means that it has at least one variable. The reason it's considered open is because of the fact that you don't know what the variable would be. So it's kind of open to a lot of possible answers. Your replacement set, and here we go. A replacement set is a set of numbers to use to replace a variable. The example is going to kind of help us out here. So we have 2x equals x plus 3. Then they give you some numbers. Those numbers are your replacement set. So now I'm going to go through and try 0 and see what happens, then try 1 and see what happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that one. And it says solve, gives us a replacement set. We're going to go ahead and substitute in 0 for x and see what happens. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. Last time I checked, 0 plus 3 is, or 0 does not equal 3. So 0 did not work. Now we're going to try plugging in 1. 2 times 1 and 1 plus 3. 2 times 1 gives me 2. 1 plus 3 gives me 4. And again, 2 does not equal 4. So that didn't help. Now we'll try 2. So 2 times 2 equals 2 plus 3. 2 times 2 is 4 equals 5. We're getting closer, but they're still not right. So 2 did not work. So now we have here 2 times 3 and 3 plus 3. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. So the original number I started with, 3, is a number that actually works for this equation. Okay, so now we're going to be solving another couple equations. Here they don't tell you what the x is. You're going to be looking for opposite operations. Most of the time you'll probably be able to do these type in your head, but I want you to actually do opposite operations. So when I do that, the first thing I do is I set up my mirror. And when I say I set up my mirror, what I mean is that everything on the left is the same as everything on the right. X plus 4 is the same thing as 10. They told us that with an equal sign. So just like when you look in a mirror, you see yourself. It's the exact copy of it. So now everything I do on one side, I have to do on the other. It has to be fair. Has to happen on both sides so that they stay equal. So the first thing we're going to do is this is a positive 4. It's addition. So the opposite of addition would be subtraction. Hoping to see 4 take away 4. 4 minus 4 gives me that 0. Okay, cross it out and I'm left with x. Bring down my equal sign. 10 minus 4 is 6. Okay, so I'm hoping that my x is 6. Now most of us already knew that. We're going to do a check here. So x plus 4 equals 10. If I plug in that 6, I get 10 equals 10. So it works. You want to make sure you circle your answer first, because a lot of people get confused when they do the check and think this is their answer, and it's not. It's just making sure the work is right. All right, let's try another problem. So here again, opposite operations, solving for y. Okay, now again I draw my mirror. Everything has to stay the same on both sides. It looks like the opposite operation here, this is division, so the opposite would be multiplication. 6 divided by 6 gives me 1, and I'm left with y on this side. 4 times 6 is 24. So when I go to do my check, y divided by 6 equals 4. Put that 24 in there. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So that would work just fine. When it's equivalent, you have 2 or more equations that are equal. So one side is equal to the other side, or 2 totally separate equations that are equivalent, are equal. Okay, so these 2 equations are equivalent. We're being told they're equivalent. So what we want to look at is we want to know, how do I get from here to here? What's being done? So I'm going to look at the left side first, and it looks like the only thing missing is 4, and this is 4 times x. So get to this point, I would have to divide by that 4 to make it just x. Let's see if that works. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and I get x. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So what I had to do, yes, they are equivalent, and here I had to divide by 4. Okay. So the question here, sorry about that, was what was done to the first equation. And we went through that. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing again. What was done to the first equation to get us to the second equation? We're told they're equivalent. So looking here, I'm looking on this side, the 2x is the same, but the 4 and the 9 are different. To get from a -4 to a -9, I would have to be subtracting something from that 4. So I would have to subtract 5. Look on this side, if I subtract 5, does it work? Let's check it out. So here's our mirror. On this side, we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. 2x, -4 and -5 makes -9. 56 minus 5 gives us 51. So what was done to the first equation is you subtracted 5.